6 trees I had growing on my roof deck got too big for their pots, so I drove them across Puerto Rico to my friend Marjory Wildcraft's half-acre homestead to replant them in the ground where they will thrive and she'll get some good use out of them. But first, I had to trim them down so that they would actually fit in my SUV. These are Moringas. They're really nutrient-dense plants. A lot of vitamins. You can eat the leaves, you can eat the pods, you can eat the seeds in the pods. I decided to dry them, and I can make some tea out of them later or something like that if I need a little nutrient kick. So I hopped in the car, I took the southern route from east coast to west coast all the way to Rincon. And I arrived at Marjory's little mini farm. And I said hi to my friend Marjory.
Yeah, my name is Marjory Wildcraft, and we are in beautiful Rincon, Puerto Rico, which is the western side of Puerto Rico. I'm the founder of the Grow Network, which is a movement of people. It's an online community of people who are stopping the destruction of the earth via homegrown food.
There they are. By the way, guys, please like this video and subscribe and hit that little notification bell. It'll help me out. Thank you.
Part of the reason I chose this site was it had the bones or the potential to really flourish. And so existing trees, existing food trees, super important, and an existing chicken coop, that really helped a lot. The impact I've had is I've really been taking care of those trees and fertilizing them and watering them and increasing the overall fertility of the whole site and adding more biodiversity. So production will be a lot higher.
I got there in the afternoon, so we decided the next day we'd work on planting the trees. But first, in the morning, we were treated to a wonderful talk by Maria Benedetti, who is an expert on medicinal plants and herbs growing in Puerto Rico. There's a lot that you could find even just around the yard. It was really interesting. And then Marjory and I decided to start planning where to plant the Moringas.
So what I'm thinking of is, so the idea is as I go by the Moringa, I just want to chop it and throw it into the rabbit pen. Or just chop it on the ground in front of the rabbit pen and drag it over it, right? Yeah. And let them eat it. So I'm trying to find strategic locations for making life easier.
They are meat rabbits, so the nutrients from the Moringa will help the rabbits be more nutritious. And these Moringas, even though they're missing their leaves, they'll come right back. They'll pop right back. This is an area of swales that Marjory created to help capture more rainwater and reduce erosion on this hillside.
This one is a guanabana, and that is my favorite fruit in the tropics. That's a papaya.
Oh, papaya, right. So how tall will these get on this hillside?
I think they're both like about 12-foot trees. Yeah.
Their roots help hold together the hillside. The pond down here collects the water. The ducks poop in it, and that helps seal it and hold it in there. And this is all vetiver, which helps hold the hillside together as well, and has some medicinal properties that Maria talked about earlier in the day.
Just plant it right here. And
This grass was like razor sharp. Another moringa down.
Yeah, let's just dig a hole right here. Put it there. And the plants definitely have a preference. Just a little further. Okay. You definitely want it right here. Let's do that. This whole ridge has that mango tree is a 100-year-old tree. You know, what you're seeing up is just one leader, and you can see where they cut off a whole bunch of it. And there are 100-year-old mango trees all up and down this ridge, holding this ridge together. Well, right now, this property is pretty much supporting me. I mean, really, in terms of number of calories it generates, absolutely. I do buy other stuff because I want, you know, diversity, chocolate or coffee or whatever, right? Although we can grow coffee here. How many others it could support? Really, a half acre like this with the house and the land. Yeah, we are thinking about starting a small CSA, and I'm imagining 20 to 50 families would be getting something out of this, so some significant part of their diet. Since I planted something here that didn't do too well, this is going to be easy digging.
I actually talked about this tree in my last video about foraging in the Caribbean. It's not actually exactly related to the typical almond, but it looks and tastes just like it. They're kind of hard to crack. And actually, Marjory's working on a project for Rincon to buy a husker to make it easier to husk these things, because there's enough of these trees in Puerto Rico to be completely food self-sufficient, but people don't really make much use out of them because it takes so much effort to husk them. So when you get the husker, they're going to let people take in their almonds to get husked and kind of do like a share, you know, 50-50 split of the final product for payment.
Will the rain get heavy enough to fill up the pond?
I hope so. That'd be great. I have so much more I want to plan out, but I'm not going to do it until after I got a good heavy rain, because I don't want to have to irrigate.
And the final tree, the lime. This one also is a little bit too big for its pot. Had to break out the pickaxes for this one. Marjory showed me how it's done.
Now, a lot of people will make a little berm here, just to kind of hold water in a little better. This is a little mini pond.
And we were done. The empty pots there. Rolled up the 400 feet into the gorilla system. Works pretty well.
Why do you poop in the water? Why do you do that?
There's another moringa that we planted out front to be close to the bunnies.
There actually is a method. I started with 3 core pieces, and that's available at the Grow Half or at the free webinar, to grow at least half of my own food, and that involves some rabbits, some chickens, and a garden area. And then after you get that going, then the rest of it is just fun. Yeah, planting and trying to grow as much as possible. If you want to be healthy, the commercial food supply is absolutely toxic, every bit of it. We used to say be a perimeter shopper. That's no longer even true. So it's really essential for your own health, and your health is your biggest asset, right? I mean, we all normally think about assets in terms of money, stock markets, you know, financial things, but your biggest asset is your health. And growing your own food is the best way. Almost all of the centenarians that have been interviewed are the kind that you want to be, like the 100-year-olds that can move around and do stuff. They either grew or had access to homegrown food most of their life. It's way easier than you think. You will have challenges, absolutely, when you're learning anything new. It will be something that you will look back later, like 5 or 10 years after you start, you go, that was the best decision I ever made, was to start growing my own food.
With that, I said my final goodbyes to the bunnies. I do mean final goodbyes because, again, they are meat rabbits. And I said goodbye to Rincon. And I headed back home the northern route, stopping in the middle somewhere to see this awesome cave. Did a little hiking, found another cool cave, did a little exploring. And I finished up with a nice beer on the beach. And I couldn't help but take a video of this there apparently used to be a bridge there leading to this neighborhood, which I think is now all abandoned. There's this cliff there, and they're all kind of falling off the cliff in pretty bad disrepair, but I thought that was kind of interesting. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Guys, Marjory is a wealth of knowledge about self-sufficient living on a small amount of land for as little effort as possible. She has a book called The Grow System, everything you need to know about modern self-sufficient living, from growing your own food to making your own medicine. I'll put the links for that below. But she also has a free webinar that teaches you everything you need to know to be self-sufficient. That includes things like how much land you need, the most calorie-dense crops that you can grow, a complete plan to be self-sufficient in your food, and how you can get started today no matter what season it is. Links below. Again, that's totally free. Thanks for watching. Come back and see me again soon.